So I have a question for Andrew and also a comment about the speeches about. So one thing that no matter it's an ideology, religion, or ethnic culture, that we are all dreaming, it's been consensus that we're all trying to look for a better future. We're all compassionate, we're all kind. But the difference is that in Buddhism, I think there's a fundamental thing about escaping suffering. And also there are different ideologies that look on the suffering as a different way, which could be a motivation for evolution and also motivation for doing other things. Whether anger can be created to use or apply on different things in order to help us to stay alive or survive. I mean, that's a different topic, I think, but like it's all great that we're looking for and exploring the different methods to a betterment and utopia. So the question is that, I wonder, you see the graph and Mr. Andrew put on, the anger, negativity, and the positivity. I wonder if you get rid of one negativity, does that mean there's going to be a positivity there? Or if you get rid of negativity, nothing's going to be there. Practice to get the positivity. For example, mindfulness. Is it going to happen if you practice? Was it going to happen as long as you get rid of the negativity? Thank you.
Well, in this model, every mind moment has got a full complement of components, an object and an attitude and so forth. So something's going to be there. The idea is not to empty these bubbles of content. The idea is to change the red states into blue states. Excuse me, my fellow Americans, for making a political joke there. And so one or the other is going to be present. There are some that are neutral, but for the most part, if you're angry, you can't at the same time be kind. And if you're kind, you can't at the same time be angry. Now, if you're able to let go of anger or hatred in one moment, the very next moment, another form of unhealthy emotion might come up. Greed or selfishness or something like that. So every single moment is a new birth, a new beginning, a new opportunity to either inch the whole mind system towards healthier states or towards unhealthy states. You become what you practice. But they are binary and opposite in the sense that all those blue states are the opposite of the red states. And so if you change a moment of greed into non-greed, a moment when you really want something and then a moment when you give it to someone, you are actually cultivating that. And the idea is I see progress evolving in practice and understanding is that these unhealthy states start coming up less and less often, with less and less intensity, and last for less duration. And the more healthy states come up more often, more strongly, and so forth. So it is very much replacing one with the other.
Okay, good morning. Or should I say, I'm Greg from the High School affiliated to State University, and I love the presentations. These are super informative presentations. And I want to ask Mr. Olendzki, you mentioned that like some, I can say it's engineering or designing of robots. And I think maybe we can use the technique that introduced by Mr. Mercy last panel about to measure the emotion of people so that the robots can understand people better. And you mentioned different components of robot. I mean, how these components can work together. I mean, cooperate together and deal with the interaction and effect.
What I know about artificial intelligence, I pretty much learned this weekend, so that's not my background. I think the challenge is, how would you put these things into practice? We've heard very many ways that people are doing that quite creatively already. I was approaching it more theoretically. Everyone else is sort of extending the range of what we're already doing further into the future. I'm asking a more philosophical question. If we were to create an artificial person, it would need to cover this full range of components that the Buddhists have identified through introspection. How to go about putting that into practice, or how to make money at it, and so forth, which seems to be important in the field, that I don't know.
Just to put a point on Andrew's excellent question, there's a lot of research that's being done in affective computing, having robots or artificial intelligence that can read the emotional states of a person's face or their voice and respond in very emotionally sensitive ways. But is that ever going to be true compassion or empathy unless that robot itself has ever experienced greed, hatred, and delusion? And I think that's the really excellent question, is that if a robot has to go through greed, hatred, and delusion in order to become a truly compassionate being, that's kind of a scary prospect.
Lastly, I want to ask
please give another person a chance. There, I see two hands up there. Perhaps the lady.
I have a question about socially engaged Buddhism and climate change. I think a lot of activists, they see the effective solution, it has to lie in political and structural solutions. And so my question would be, what kind of practical wisdom and guidance Buddhism can give us in regards to climate change, and where does human agency come into that?
There's a lot of material and discussion about these issues. For example, as I mentioned before, the first precept of against killing can be used to honor the principle of life and sustainability, and the requirement that the planet itself is maintained, its environmental sustainability and plant, animal and human life, that is a way of honoring no killing, no destruction. And also the precept of not stealing, and how it can be extended to the issue of distribution and social justice, because the issue of environmental sustainability and human sustainability are inextricably linked, because we are, after all, part of nature. So there's a lot of interesting discussion from the environmental side on applying Buddhist teachings to both understanding and addressing the climate crisis and the crisis of human and planetary survival. And there are lots of movements. For example, if you look at the work of Thai ecological monks who are extending the Buddhist teachings to help protect the forests from being logged and populations being transferred. So there is both on the theoretical and empirical side a lot of interesting materials on the application of Buddhism to climate protection and human protection.